Yeah, now let us start today's session. We are discussing verifications, right? In the last session, we discussed about verifications. Verifications, where we are in verifications. Verifications. Yeah, we completed database checkpoints, right? We completed database checkpoints. Yeah, database checkpoint we completed. So apart from database checkpoint, what else checkpoints are there remaining? There are two more checkpoints that we have to discuss. Yeah, one second, one second. Yeah. So there are two more checkpoints we have pending. Those checkpoints are so those checkpoints are two checkpoints. One is the XML checkpoint, another one is accessibility checkpoint. So these two checkpoints we will see. One second. Yeah. Here we have two more checkpoints pending: accessibility checkpoint and XML checkpoint. See here, accessibility checkpoint is not displayed. Why? Because maybe we have not selected web add-in. That is why. That is the reason that accessibility checkpoint is not displayed here now. Because accessibility checkpoint is applicable only for web pages, not for any other objects. Only for web pages we can use accessibility checkpoint. So since we have not selected web add-in, it is not displayed here. Now first let us select web add-in. Go to the tools options. Display add-in manager. Okay. You selected already. Yeah, it is there. Accessibility checkpoint is there now. Fine. Now let me try again whether this QTP, I have reinstalled everything again. Let me try once again whether this QTP identifies a web application. If it identifies, then we can go use some web applications even with for our practice as well. Let me check that first. No luck. It's not identifying. Maybe then we have to use only UFT. If you install UFT, then it should identify definitely. That is because of this Internet Explorer version may not be compatible with this QTP 10. That's why it is not identifying now. Okay, but if you install higher version of QTP, either QTP 11 or UFT, then definitely we should be able to work with web applications. Okay, till that, so let us continue. So we will discuss later this remaining these two checkpoints: accessibility checkpoint and XML checkpoint options. Okay, after next two sessions, after two more sessions, we will discuss this one. So by that time, I will make it ready by UFT definitely. So then we will cover these checkpoints at that point of time. Now proceed to next topic now. After completing verifications automation. See, in this verifications sessions, we have seen how to automate different types of verifications in test cases. See, object or page or any object displayed or not, how to check that one using exist method. And after that we have seen check property method. This check property method can be used to verify any single property of an object. And after that we have seen how to do some automations. Some validations might be complex, so at that time you may have to write some code, some multiple lines of code to automate validations. That example we have seen that how to verify fly from list box value is not displayed in the fly to drop down list. To automate this verification, we have scripted multiple lines of code. That example we have seen. And after that we have seen standard checkpoint. What is a standard checkpoint? The standard checkpoint is used to verify multiple properties of an object. Then we can use the standard checkpoint. And after that we have seen text checkpoint. That means text validation, how to verify the text in the application. So that can be done by using check property method or by using text checkpoint, or we have some other alternative to text checkpoint and check property as well. Are you clear? So here what are those alternatives we have seen? INSTR function, using INSTR function and using string comparison functions we can use to verify text in the applications. Okay, this also we have seen. And next, verifying the table content validation. This we'll see that once we are able to access web applications, then I will show you this one. Table verifications, table content validations, or some dynamic objects validations. Those things we will look into that once we are able to access web applications. One second, are we having? Am I started recording? Yeah, it is recording. Okay, after that we discussed bitmap checkpoint. What is a bitmap checkpoint is? It verifies object bitmap. What is a bitmap? Bitmap is a set of pixels within the object area, within the selected area or within the object area, that is called bitmap. And after that we have seen database checkpoint. How to verify database content, how to verify database values by using database checkpoint. We have seen that. Okay, so these are the checkpoints and these are the different types of validations that we have seen so far. Now today we will discuss another new concept that is called synchronization. Synchronization concept. It is another important. See, so far we discussed object identification. We have seen that is one important basic core concept in QTP, and how to define object identification, object configurations, and how to work with object repositories, how to work with actions. That are all those things we have seen. And after that we discussed validations, verifications, how to automate verifications. And now we are going to discuss synchronization. It is one important concept in QTP, not in QTP, in every automation, in any automation tool. Synchronization is one important concept. What is this synchronization is all about? Yeah. Now to understand this synchronization, what is a synchronization concept? Now let us take with one example. Let me show you an example. Then you can understand better what is the synchronization concept is all about. Now let me save this document, save as. Synchronization. Yeah. See, now let us create one simple script. Have you created, did we create any script for inserting a new order already? Did we create any script to insert a new order? Let me check that in our scripts in the drive. Training, UFT, test scripts. Here, is there any script for new order? Initial state is there, not there, right? Okay, fine. Now let us create a new script today, inserting a new order. So open order is there. Okay, fine. New order is not saved, I guess. Fine, no problem. Now let me create one new script. For 006, new order. Create new order or insert new order. It is my script, new script I'm creating now. Copy the script name, save it. Oh, sorry, I have opened it here. Now I'm going to save this script. I have to save that script, open some existing script. D drive, training, UFT. Let me open some script here. Which script I can open? Data flight.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Subbarao is thinking like he lost your voice.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, your screen is fine, and for me, it's audible. Only Subbarao is thinking like he lost your voice.
No, I think so. He rejoined again.
Okay, okay.
Just now I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to create one new script here to understand better what is a synchronization is concept is. So I have opened some old script and I'm going to save this script as new script. Script name is insert a new order. That is a script name. Save it. And okay. So I'm changing this description. Today's date is 22. So in this new order, insert a new order, what are all the steps that we have to automate? What steps should be automated here? New order. Uh, See, is it required here to run login action? Yes, run login action. Also, I want to open that login action. So here we are calling login action to log in into that flight reservation application. After that, click new order button. Yes. And after that, enter valid date of flight, not invalid value. We have to enter valid date of flight. So here I am changing this value to valid date of flight, 12/12, some 12/15. So this is the valid date of flight value, and select fly from. And next step, see these are all some other test case, so what we automated already. So now I will remove these things and I will remove all these steps what we already created in some other script. After selecting fly from and select fly from fly to. So we have to select fly to also here. Go open the repository file. Okay, now here already we added fly to combo box. It is already added, so drag and drop that. It is fly to. Select, I want to select some different value. Paris. I selected London to Paris. So next what we have to do, after that select flight. We have to select the flight to travel from this place to this place. To select a flight, what steps we have to do in the application? Let me open the application, login. Yeah, see, first we have to click new order button. That step is already written. Next, enter data of valid data flight 12 to 12 to 15 and select fly from and fly to. Now the next step is select flight. To select the flight, we have to click on this flights button. Then it opens a flights table. So in this flights table, you have to select one flight from this list of flights, either first one or second flight or first flight, whatever the flight that you want to choose. Select a flight in the list and we have to click OK button. So these are the three steps that we have to do to select a flight. So you should add these objects into the repository file. Add those objects. What is the first object? Flights button should be added. Flight button added, and give the modify the name BTN. Next one, we have to add this select list of flights. This list flights list should be added. So a list, win list, it is a win list. So it is a win list. What is a list displays? Flight numbers. So I will give here LST underscore flights list. I modified that object name. See, this list is inside this dialog box. Look at that. This list is inside this dialog box. This dialog box is inside flight reservation window. So let me change this dialog box name as well. DLG. I'm adding prefix. Done. Now add OK button. Add OK button inside the dialog box. So OK button also added. BTN underscore. Done. Save that. Now drag and drop those objects from repository. What is the first step? We have to click on the flights button to select the flight. After that, you have to select a flight in the list. Select a flight. After that, click OK button inside this flights table dialog box. That's it. So here, see, look at that here, how this flight name is displayed in the flight list. In the flights list, what values are displayed here? Flight number and from place, to place, departure time, arrival time, airline's name, and what is the cost. So each item in this list contains multiple values, like flight number, from place, departure time, to place, arrival time, and airline's name and price value. All these values are displayed in each item in the flights list. So to select any flight item here, you should have to pass the full value, the complete value of that item. That means you have to pass this entire value, whole value, 20256 space DN space 1111.12 space AM. Like this, you should enter the full value of that item to select that item in this statement. In this winlist dot select, to this select method, what is the input you should pass? That item value. See, item should be passed. Which item you want to select? So that item value should be passed. What is the value displayed in each item here? It is a lengthy value. It is not a simply short name, a short value. So it is very lengthy value displayed here. So what I will do, I don't pass the value, item value here. Instead of that, I will pass that item index number, passing 0. So to this select method, to select any item from the list box, what we should pass as input to the select method? You can pass either item value or that item index number should be passed. So that means in this list there are 2 items. So each item has some index number. The first item index number is 0 always in the list box, and second item index is 1. So like that, the index numbers are assigned to list items in the list box. So if you want to select a second item, you can use index number 1 to select a second item. To select a first item, the index number should be 0. Understand? Suppose if you know what is the value of first item exactly, then you can use that item value as input. Suppose if you are passing item value as input to this select method, in that case, that item value should be entered in the double quotes. In double quotes. That means like this we have to pass. What is item value displayed? So in the place of item value, you should write here this complete value, whatever is displayed here in the first item position. Understand, the value should be, item value should be entered as a string enclosed with double quotes. If you are using index number to select an item, that index number should not be enclosed by double quotes. The index number should be entered as a number, as a numeric value, not as a string. Understand? So that's why we are not using here double quotes for index numbers. Then, so these 3 steps will select a flight in the flight duration window. Are you clear? After that, what is the next step we have to do? The next step, enter name and number of tickets. Number of tickets. So these are the 2 steps you have to execute. Enter the name here and enter here number of tickets value. How many tickets you want to book in the order. So let us add these 2 objects to the repository file. I am adding first name, and it is added, and rename that one. Modify that name by adding prefix txt. The next object, tickets. Again, modify the name, add prefix txt. Done. So now drag and drop those 2 objects. So to automate this step, I'm dragging first name. First I have to enter name, and after that enter number of tickets. Done. So enter the value. So name I'm entering Prasad. Number of tickets 3. See the number of tickets. See why we are enclosing by double quotes, because this is the number. The number, even though it is a number, we are enclosing with double quotes. Even if you don't enclose with double quotes, it will enter, no problem. Because since we are entering the value into the text box, it will be treated as a text, as a string. So that's why you can enclose that number value also in the double quotes here. Fine. The next step, after that, select class. Select class. Which class you want to select? Suppose I want to select a first class, radio button. So add that radio button into the repository file. Select first class radio button. So it is selected. First class radio button is selected. It is a radio button, so I'm adding prefix RDB, radio button, first, and drag and drop that one. So drag and drop. So to this set method is right to select a radio button. So is there any input we have to pass? No input here. No input required to this set method to select a radio button. Okay, done. And after that, click insert order button. Insert order button. Click on that button. So in the application, say there is an insert order button. Now you have to click on this. So first to add that object, insert order button object to repository file. Added it. Done. Done. Save it and drag and drop that object. Insert order button dot click. Fine. After inserting the order, maybe here it is not. So I'm entering the values, all values. Denver to Paris. Select some flight, first flight, and enter Prasad. Number of tickets 3, first class, and I am clicking insert order button. After clicking this insert order button, what is happening in the application? All the details, whatever we have filled in the application, are saving in the database, in the backend database, and it generates order number. What is the order we have inserted? What is that order number? Order number 11. So after clicking this insert order button, what I want to do, get a new order number, whatever is generated, get order number or print order number. I want to print that order number. Okay, print order number. So to print this order number, this is the order number value, right? In this text box, order number is generated. So from this text box, we have to capture that order number value. That means from this text box, we have to get the value. How we can get the value from this text box? By using get RO property that we have seen already in the while discussing verifications. By using get RO property, we can get the value from the text box. Correct. So by using that method, we can get this value and assign that value to some variable and print that variable value. That is what we have to do. So for that, first we should add this text box into the repository file, because we want to get the value from this text box. So you should add this object to repository file. Then order number. I'm changing this object name txt underscore order number. Done. Save it. Now drag and drop that object. Now what is the method to get the value from this text box? Get RO property is the method to get runtime object value, property value. So dot, type dot, then it displays all the methods. Select get RO property. And what property value you have to get? Text value. Since it is a text box, the value property name is text in the double quotes. Property name we are defining as input for this get RO property method. In this get RO property method, we are defining which property value you want to get. I want to get a text property value. So the text is defined in the double quotes as input to this get RO property method. So this statement returns the value of text property from this text box. Is it right? At runtime, when you run this statement, what this statement will do? It returns the text value from this text box. That means this statement returns the value. So that's why now I have enclosed here brackets. Why we enclosed input argument in the brackets? Because this statement or this method returns the value. See, if you look at here, select, we are not using braces. Similarly, set method here, we are not using brackets for this input. Similarly, set 3, we are not using brackets here. But why we are using here brackets? Because This method returns the value and we want to receive that value. We have to get that value into some variable. So this statement should be assigned to some variable, yes order number. So this is the variable I'm declaring, I'm defining here, I'm using here. This variable will receive the value returned by this method getRow property. So now declare this variable yes order number in the above yes order number. Okay, remove these variables. We are not using those variables here. Yes order number is a variable. So into this variable, this text value will be returned. Understand? Now print this variable value by using print statement or by using message statement, message box. I'm using message box statement. Yes order number. I want to message, I want to display that order number variable value in a message box. All of you clear? So how we created for simple test case. What is the test case? Insert a new order. That is a test case. So we're inserting the new order and we're getting that new order number. No, no. Guys, I'm sorry. Just I am asking, really I'm sorry. Did we already discuss this concept, synchronization concept? I'm confusion. Hello? Not it, right? We have not discussed, right? No, maybe I might have discussed in Selenium, not in QTP.
Yeah, no.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no,
we
Prashant,
haven't discussed that.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have not
okay,
discussed.
fine. No,
Yeah.
no, why? Because same concept I discussed in another session. That's why I'm getting confusion. Okay,
Okay.
okay, fine. Okay, now, so we created a simple script, okay, for inserting a new order and display that order number. So this is how we created one simple normal QTP script. Now let us run this and then see that whether is it displaying the order number, is it inserting the order, and is it displaying the order number in the message box. Close this application because we are calling here login action, so it will launch the application and it will log in automatically. You no need to open the application manually. So we have to close the application before running the script. So what this script will do, what is the description of the script? Insert new order and display order number. That is a script. Okay, now run this. Again same problem. Okay, action was not found. It is showing some problem. Missing resources. Go to missing resources. It's saying that action 1 in external action is not found. External action, this action is not found. This action 1 is not found. No, it is there, but that path is missing. So we have to map that. Go to view, missing resources, open that and right click, locate, and open that script. Okay, it is already selected, but it is not displaying here any action. Look at that here. Why it is not displaying any action? Maybe that action 1 is not a reusable action. That's why it is not displaying here any actions here. Because actually inside this valid login script, we already created one action. Action 1 is there, but that is not displaying here. Okay, let us see that why it is not displaying. Because that action may not be reusable. That's why it is not listed here. First open here valid login script. No, it is action 1 is a reusable action only. It is reusable only. Then what is the problem? Let us say that. locate. Let me open that script. Valid login. Yes, yeah, now it is displaying. Just let me, I have opened that script once again. So I'm getting this action one done. Okay, now error is gone. That means the missing resource is mapped to correct path. That is what we have done now. So actually at the time of creating this script, we inserted one external action, action one, from this QTP script, valid login QTP script. But now that action one path is missing somehow. So what we did now, just simply we have mapped this external action path correctly. That's it. So that error is gone now. Save that. Now run the script. It should run. Okay, running fine. It is inserting new order. Look at that. It is not displaying order number. It is not displaying order number. Are you clear? It displays empty value. Why it displaying empty value? What is the reason? See, again I'm running the script. Please find, just observe that and tell me why order number is not displaying in the message box. Is it anything wrong in the script? Is it anything that any step we missed out? Or is it anything for any problem in the script? If there is a problem, what is the problem? What's happening in the script? Why this message box displays empty value?
I need to give syntax.
Yeah. Now let look at this. Yes, you are right. See, let us see that what's happening in the application during the execution. See, message box is displayed. Still here order number is not generated in the application. Is it right? That means what is happening in the application after clicking insert order button? What's happening? It is inserting the data into the database. Is it right? It is saving the data in the database. So that process is taking some time, some 5 to 6 seconds of time. When it takes the time, application after clicking insert order button, it takes some time to save the data in the database. Guys, some
Yeah,
of
yes,
you,
sir. That's what.
yeah, guys,
Yeah, that's what I have. Okay.
yeah, guys, one of you, please mute your mic, okay? All of you, please mute your mic until if you have any query or any doubt. Okay. See what's happening here. After clicking insert order button, the application is inserting the data in the database. So that will take some time. That takes some time, 5 to 6 seconds. So during that process, during that time, when application is saving the data in the database backend, during the time, what is the state of the application? See here, this inserting progressing bar will be moving in blue color, correct, from left to right. And once that insertion is completed in the database, then application generates the order number, new order number, and that order number will be displayed in the order number text box. So until that insertion process is completed, application is busy. Application is in busy state. Understand? That means during that time, what QTP is doing? After clicking insert order button, what QTP is doing here? So look at that. After clicking insert order button, here we are clicking. What is the next step? Immediately QTP will be running. QTP will be running this step. What is this step will do? This step will get the value from the order number text box in the application. That means from this text box, it will get the value. So by that time, that means by the time QTP executes this statement, by the time application still not completed its inserting process. That means still that order number is not generated in this text box. Understand? That means the text box was empty. By the time the QTP is running this statement, this text box is empty. That's why this statement returns empty value into this variable and empty value displayed in the message box. So, but what we want to do using this script, I want to get order number by using the script. I want to insert the order and get that order number also. That is what I want to do. But here it is inserting the order, but it is not getting the order number. That's how the script is running now. So to make this script run properly as expected, what we should do? That means the problem is here the time gap between the QTP tool and application after clicking insert order button. After clicking insert order button, there is a time gap. That means, yeah, what QTP is doing after clicking insert order button, immediately it is reading the data, it is getting the data from this text box. But application cannot display this order number immediately after clicking insert order button. Application will take some time to insert the data and to generate the order number. It will take some 5 to 6 seconds, but QTP is not waiting for 5 to seconds until this order number is displayed here, or until insertion is completed. See, inserted done is message displayed after inserting is completed. After that only this order number is displayed. So QTP should wait after clicking insert order button. QTP should wait for this order number to display, or order inserting process is completed. Are you clear? So that means this kind of issues, see, the issue is here not with the QTP script. Our QTP script is perfectly right, application also perfectly right, working fine. But where is the problem? Sometimes application will take more time. Application will take more time to respond to QTP. See, QTP is executing some actions in the application, and accordingly application is responding. Is it right? Sometimes the application cannot respond at the same speed of QTP. So application may take some more time to respond. So during that time, QTP also should wait until application responded, or application is ready state. Application is in ready state. If application is not in ready state, then QTP should not execute the next step in the QTP script. Understand? While insertion is going on here, application is not ready state. Application is in busy state. It is doing some process internally in backend. So application is not in ready state at that time. Application was in busy state. So at that time, QTP should wait until application completes its process, whatever it is executing, and it should get ready. Once application is ready state, then QTP should continue the execution of next step. Are you clear? That means that's how the QTP execution should be controlled, because generally applications will be slow sometimes. Sometimes application will take time. See, if you are executing the application manually, as a human being, we can understand that application is doing something. Application is taking some time to complete or to insert the order. So we have to wait until that insertion is completed, and then we can proceed. As a human being, we have that intelligence to understand that application is in busy state and application is doing something. Until it completes that process, we should wait. So you will be waiting until that order number is generated, and then we will be proceeding the next step execution if you are running this test case manually. But how QTP knows that? QTP doesn't has intelligence, right, to automatically understand what application is doing. It cannot understand automatically, correct? So we have to instruct the QTP in such a way if application is not in ready state, wait until it becomes ready. Once it comes to the ready state, then continue the execution. So that's how somehow we have to control, or we have to instruct the QTP tool to wait for at some point of time wherever it is required. Not on every step. In at some steps, before running some steps, QTP should wait. Depends upon the application state. All of you clear? So this is called synchronization. That means sometimes, generally, while running the automation scripts in the application, you will be facing some synchronization issues. That means time gap issues. Time gap in the sense, application will take more time, but QTP will not wait that much time, and QTP will be simply continuously running the steps, executing the steps without waiting. Wherever application is not responding to the QTP, even though application is not responding, QTP won't bother about that. It will be still continuing the execution of next step. So that will result failed status of our QTP script. Understand? So these kind of issues we could observe in our real-time projects very frequently. Very frequently we could observe these kind of issues because application will be in testing stage. Application is in a testing phase, right? So that means that application performance may not be good, definitely. So the application performance will be very poor in the testing phase. So generally application will be very slow in the QA environment. So automatically, if application performance is very poor, definitely our QTP scripts will be failed because of time gap between the QTP and application response. So these kind of issues are called synchronization issues. So how we could solve these synchronization issues in the automation scripts? By instructing QTP to wait until application come to ready state. All of you clear? That is called synchronization. So how to do that? How to add that synchronization code in our script? Let us see that. So synchronization means nothing but, what is the definition of synchronization in QTP? I could say instructing I can say synchronization point like checkpoint, like a checkpoint. You can say it is a synchronization point. That means synchronization statement. In we have to add some synchronization step in our QTP script. Okay, so synchronization point is a statement like a checkpoint. So what this synchronization point, why we have to add this synchronization point in QTP script? To synchronize the QTP with application speed. To synchronize the QTP speed with the application speed. So how we are doing that? It instructs the synchronization point. What it will do? It instructs QTP to wait, and I can say like that. It is used to instruct QTP to wait for some maximum period of time for expected condition to satisfy in the application. Say that how we are achieving that, how we are instructing, how we are making QTP to wait when application is not in ready state. We are using here synchronization point. Synchronization point. What is synchronization point will do? It instructs QTP to wait to wait for To wait for expected condition to satisfy in the application within within maximum period of time. Within the maximum period of time. All of it clear? See, it is used also not required. It instructs QTP to wait for expected condition to satisfy in the application within the maximum period of time. That means what we are doing here, we are instructing the QTP. See, it instructs the QTP to wait until application is ready. Application is ready within maximum time, within some maximum timeout time, within some maximum time. See how QTP knows that whether application is in ready state or not. So that application ready state can be defined by using some condition. So QTP will check that condition, whether this condition is satisfied in the application or not. See, that condition can be anything that defines that application ready state. Are you clear? For example, if you look at this, how you can say that the inserting order is completed, the order inserting process is completed. How you can say that? How you can define that condition? How you can define that new order generated or new order inserted? So that state I want to check whether new order insertion is completed or not. If it is completed, then application becomes to ready state. If new order insertion is in progress, at that time application is not in ready state. It will be in busy state. So how you can check that? What condition we can define to check that whether application completes the insertion process or not? What condition we can define here? What condition we can use here? Let me run once again and see that application. Then tell me some condition. What condition we can use to define, to check that insertion is completed or not? Tell me now. Now insertion is in progress. Now it is completed. How do you say that? Now insertion is completed. What condition we can use to check that order insertion is completed or not? Yes, we can use this inserted done message. Is it right? This message is displayed only after completing insertion process. Is there any other condition we can use to define this state? Is there any other condition that we can use? Yes, order number is displayed. While insertion is in progress, this text box was empty. When this 15 is displayed here, once insertion is completed and order number is generated, that order number is displayed in this text box. And one more condition also we can use. This update order and delete order buttons were in disable mode while insertion is in progress. And these two buttons becomes enable once insertion is completed. That condition also we can use. So there are different conditions that we can use to define the application readiness state, ready state. So that condition we have to define. Some condition we have to define. So by using that condition, QTP can understand that whether application is in ready state or not. If that condition is satisfied, then application assumes that application is ready. Then it will continue the execution. In case if that condition is not satisfied, then QTP understands that still we have to wait until that condition is satisfied. So if the condition is not satisfied, QTP will be waiting. QTP will be in waiting state. It won't run the next step until that condition is satisfied in application. So that's how the synchronization point will be used here to synchronize the time gap between the QTP tool and applications. Are you clear? So synchronization point. To synchronize or to bridge the time gap, QTP speed with application. That means how it is doing? It instructs the QTP to wait until application is ready state. Application is ready. How it is checking whether application is ready or not? By using some condition. By using some condition, we are defining that application is ready or not. All of you clear? So now let us see that how to define a synchronization point in the script in this example, where we have to insert synchronization point in the script. In the script, where you should insert the synchronization point statement after clicking insert adder button. Is it right? Here, right? Is it right? So the location is very important. Where application takes more time. Only at that time QTP should wait. Is it right? Suppose if you insert synchronization point before insert order, is it useful? It is not useful because application is taking more time only after clicking insert order button. So after this step, QTP application is taking more time. So QTP should wait. So after clicking this insert order button, after this statement, you should have to insert synchronization point statement. So it is very important where we are using the synchronization point in your script. So now let us see that what is the condition where we can use here. I want to use this condition. What is that condition? The insert done message is displayed in this object. If this message is displayed on this object, then we can say that application is ready. That means insertion is completed and application is ready. Is it right? So this is the condition I want to define, I want to use in my synchronization point. So we have to add this object because the condition we are using for this object. So we should add this object into the repository file. Add that object. Insert done. Now drag that object here wherever you want to insert the synchronization point. Here I want to place synchronization point, so drag and drop that object here. Done. Now what is the statement of a synchronization point? The statement is, the method is dot wait property. That is a method. This method is called synchronization point. This statement is called synchronization point statement. Wait property statement. Wait property method is a synchronization point. Now to this method, what inputs we have to pass? See, there are how many inputs? 3 inputs are there. What is the first input? Property name. So what property you want to check for this object? For this insert done object, what property you want to verify? I want to verify text. What text should be displayed on this object? What is the text should be displayed? Insert done with 3 dots. See, there are 3 dots displayed here. So that is the text I am looking for. Insert done three dots are there. So this text should be displayed on this object. That means this object text property should match to this value. That is the condition. This is the condition we are defining in a synchronization point. So suppose if this object text value, if this object inserted an object text value is not matching to this inserted an string, then condition fails. If the condition fails, QTP will be waiting. Up to what time it will be waiting? So we have to define some maximum time limit. So that is what we are defining in the third argument, 10,000 milliseconds. Is it milliseconds and seconds? Let me check it now. I think so it is in wait property. What is the last argument? Yeah, milliseconds. It is in milliseconds. 10,000 milliseconds. All of you clear? Wait property. So what property you want to verify for this object? Property name we are defining in the first argument, and in the second argument input what we are defining? Expected value of that property. Expected value of that property. What is the value should be matching for this property? And waiting time, maximum waiting time, maximum time limit we are defining in the third argument in milliseconds. All of you clear? So this statement, what it will do? It will check this condition. It will check this object text value in the application. Currently, what is the text displayed on this object? If it is matching with this inserted done value, then the condition will be satisfied. The condition will be passed. So immediately it will go to next statement. Suppose if this object is not displaying this text, inserted done text value is not displayed on this object, then this condition will be failed and QTP will be waiting. Again it will be keep checking, it will be keep monitoring this object text value until it matches to this expected value within maximum time limit of 10,000 milliseconds. Whenever it matches with this expected value, then QTP will not be in waiting state anymore. Immediately it will go to next statement. If this value is not matching to this expected value, then it will be in waiting state. Understand? All of you clear? Suppose if this value is matching within immediately, then it won't wait even for 1 second. Suppose if its value is not matching for 5 seconds, after 5 seconds it is matching, then QTP will be waiting for 5 seconds. Understand? So whenever that condition matches are passed in the synchronization point, immediately it will go to next statement. It will continue the execution. It won't be in waiting state anymore. Okay. So now let us run the script execution now. See that how this synchronization point works. See, look at that here. Line number 31. It is waiting. See, it is waiting. See, now order number is captured. 16 is printed. See, what is the line number 31 here? Where it was waiting. See, it is nothing but wait property statement. It is a synchronization point statement. That means QTP is waiting on synchronization point for more time until the defined condition in the synchronization point is passed. All of you clear? So run once again. No, we can't define here partial text. It is not possible because the text property we are using. If you are using a text property, we cannot verify partial text. Yeah, it may be possible partial text. We can see that later how it is possible partial text sometimes. See, here I am writing here manually, correct? We are defining here wait property. See, in the insert statement, see there is an option here, synchronization point, to create the same, to generate this statement, to generate this statement. All of it clear? See, for example, I will show you that one. See, I will generate this statement by using that option in qtp. Click record button, go to insert, synchronization point, select here. Now select the object in the application, inserted an object, this object, yes. See, select the property for that object, text property, right? Text property. And what is the value? You have to define the full value here. We don't have any partial text comparison can be done. If you are selecting here text property, in the text property we cannot verify partial text, not possible. Okay, suppose if you want to verify partial text, I want to wait for some time until some partial text value displayed on this object. Yes, we can do that, but not by using wait property statement. That we'll see that one, how it is, how we can check that one also. Okay, so using this wait property statement, it is called a synchronization point. Using the statement, you can define conditions to verify some object property. That is the condition we are defining. What kind of conditions we can define in the wait property statement? Just check some property value of any object. If that condition satisfies, then continue, otherwise wait. So like this we can define the conditions in the wait property statement. We cannot define a condition to verify some partial value, or to verify by excluding blank spaces. This kind of custom verifications cannot be added in the wait property statement. Okay, so the statement what we are using here is, it is a statement important. Okay, wait property, I will define it here. Done. It is a statement, synchronization point statement. Method, what is the method? Okay, now let us define some other condition now in the same script. Now what is the condition now we are using? Instead and message should be displayed in the in some object in the application. Fine, let us take some other condition. What is that other condition I want to use here? This delete order button should be enabled. If it is in enable state, then qtp application is in ready state. Understand? So I want to use here delete order button is enabled. That condition I want to use in my synchronization point. Then let us define that also. For that we have to add this object into repository file. Delete order button should be added. I have added. Done. Now in the place of, after clicking insert order button, here we want to insert the synchronization point. So drag and drop that delete order button. Now copy this wait property. Wait property method we have to select here. And what is the input we have to verify here? What is the condition we want to check? We want to check that delete order button should be enabled. Yes, the property should be enabled. That is the property name we have to check for delete order button enable. Then what is the value we are expecting? Enable property value should be true or false. It is true because we are expecting that object should be enabled. So the expected value should be true. So 1. True means 1. And wait for 10,000 milliseconds if it is not true. All of it clear? So this condition also will work now in this example. So run this. It should work fine without any issues. It should wait until order is inserted. See, it is waiting on line number 31 until order number is generated. It is displaying order number 18. It is getting fine. correct? It is working good. And now, okay, fine. What is the waiting? What is the total enable? Is it pass or fail? I think so it looks like fail. Let me check the result. See, if this condition is not satisfied, that can be seen here in the result file. Whether synchronization point condition is pass or fail. See, enable warning it is showing. That means this enable property, this condition is not satisfied. Then it will display warning. If this condition is satisfied, then it displays done status here. Understand? It will be display status as done if this synchronization point condition is passed. If the synchronization point condition is failed, then it displays the status as warning. That means this condition is not satisfied. Enabled or enable. What is the property name? Let me check that. Is it enable or enabled? For delete order button, right? Enabled. Look at that here. Property name is enabled. So that's why it is not passed. Enabled. Okay. D should be there. Now let me run and then see that what is the time it is taking. Now I will remove here message box. I am giving print statement instead of a message box. Print statement I will give. Now save the script and run it once again. See now line number 31 is waiting. So immediately displayed 19. Now what is that say? Or how much time it is taking now to run the script? See, execution started on 16:39:28, completed on 16:39:40. That means how many seconds it is taking to run this flow, login as well as inserting the new order. These two flows are completed in 12 seconds of time. All of you clear? Fine. Why I am showing you this execution time? We will understand it. See that. Now in QTP, this is the important method, very important method in QTP scripts. We will be using very frequently in the real-time projects as well, because our applications will be generally very slow in the QA environment. So while running our automation scripts, you will be facing this kind of synchronization issues. So to solve those synchronization issues, we have to insert a synchronization point steps in our script. Wherever application is very slow, we have to insert a synchronization point at that place to make QTP to wait until application is ready. So you'll be using this statement very frequently. For example, sometimes there are some other alternative options. Instead of using wait property, there are other alternative options in QTP which will make QTP to wait. What are those alternatives? Alternative synchronization options. Synchronization options in QTP. The first one is, we already seen that one verification method exists. What this exist will do? It checks that whether any object is displayed or not. If it is not displayed, it will wait. Correct? See, to this exist method, what we are passing? Number of seconds we are passing as input. Correct? What is this number of seconds? Time limit, maximum time limit. That means within 30 seconds, if that object is not displayed, QTP will wait for 30 seconds. If it is still not displayed after 30 seconds, then only it will go to next statement. That means the exist statement, the exist method is working here as a synchronization point. So the exist method also is synchronization point. But when, in which situations we will be using this method, exist method? If you want QTP to wait for some window to display or some object to display inside the window, if you want to wait for some object to display, then we use this exist method to wait if we want QTP to wait for some for object to display. All of it clear? In this situation, you will be using exist method as a synchronization point. The same exist method also will be used in the verification. Suppose if you want to verify whether this object is displayed or not, I am using the same exist method. The same exist method can be used as a synchronization point as well. All of it clear? And what is the other thing? Next one. So exist is the one thing. Next one, wait statement. In QTP, we have wait statement. Wait statement. So what this wait statement will do? It makes QTP to wait for some time. If I write this statement wait for 10, that means it will wait for 10 seconds. QTP will be waiting for 10 seconds. So I can use this wait statement instead of using wait property method. See, look at that. Our script will work. Instead of using here a wait property statement, that means instead of using synchronization point, if I use here wait statement, will it work or not? Wait for 10 seconds. It will work. See that. What is the difference? But what is the difference? If you use wait statement, the script will be working good. But what is the difference? See, look at that. Line number 31. It is waiting. See, application is ready, but still it is waiting. See, now look at that. Now what is the time, execution time it takes? 38 plus 53. How much time it is taken now?
Even application is ready also, it will wait 10 minutes, 10 seconds. If you
Yeah.
use synchronization, it will wait. Once application is ready, the further it will move.
So it takes almost 20, how many seconds now it took? 25 minutes to 25 seconds it took now. Correct? Now the execution takes 25 seconds. But if I use synchronization point, how much time it took? Only just 12
10
seconds.
seconds.
But now it is almost 25 seconds because of this wait statement. That means what wait statement is instructing to QTP? Wait for 10 seconds. So here it is not checking any condition. It is QTP is waiting blindly for 10 seconds. So even application is ready in 2 seconds, QTP will be waiting for 10 seconds. But application is ready in 2 seconds, within 2 seconds. But still QTP will be waiting for 10 seconds. So that's why, that is the reason we should not use wait statements in our real-time project scripting. We should not use more wait statements, many wait statements. First, we should avoid as much as possible to use wait statements because it will increase the execution time, the QTP script execution time. Wait statement. If you add more wait statements in our QTP script, that is not a good practice at all. Unnecessarily, QTP will be waiting unwantedly if you add more wait statements. So it will increase our script execution time. But if you use, instead of using wait statement, if you can use wait property statement, how it is you waiting QTP now? QTP is waiting now very intelligently. QTP is waiting intelligent way by using wait property statement. That means QTP is looking for some condition. As soon as that condition is satisfied, QTP immediately will go to next step. It won't wait anymore. So we can say that wait property is an intelligent wait statement. So that's why wait property statement is better than always, better option always than using wait statement. But that is one alternative. Wait statement is one alternative. So what it is doing wait statement? It make QTP to wait blindly for specified time. For specified time. So what is the main problem with this? It will increase the script execution time. It increases the script execution time. Are you clear? That's why we should avoid wait statements. We should avoid using of wait statements in the script. Okay, that is a good practice of automation scripting. We should have very less number of, until unless it is mandatory, we don't have any other option, we have to make qtp to wait for 2 seconds, only then it should be used. Otherwise we should never use wait statement. We should always try to use other options, either wait property or exist method, something we should try to use it. Okay, fine. That is also wait statement also we can use to make qtp to wait. So that can be also used as a synchronization point. So what is the other option? Other option is wait statement plus some loop. If you use wait statement with the combination of loop, wait plus loop statements, now it will make intelligent wait statement. See, for example, as you asked, suppose if you want to wait in the application to display some partial text. So here insert done is there, right? Suppose I want to check that whether insert done is displayed or not. I don't bother about the 3 dots. I want to verify just only insert done is displayed or not. That is what I want to check. I'm not bothering about the 3 dots there. Until insert done message is displayed on this object, I want to wait. I'm not including here 3 dots. All of you clear? See, in our synchronization point, we defined 3 dots as well. We define the full text. Because we are using text property, we should have to define full text of expected text. But now I don't want to use full text. I want to use partial text. I want to look for some partial text inserted done is displayed on this object. Now how we can do this one? Yeah. So, but using for loop, using some loop and wait statement. These two are important. Yes, you are right. What you have to do? Every time get the value, get the text from this object. What is the text displayed on this object? Get that value and check that by using instr, not strcomp, instr function, because we are checking partial text here. So I want to verify whether insert done displayed or not in that value. If it is displayed, then exit the loop. If it is not displayed, wait for 1 second. Again continue the loop. Again get the value. Again do the verification. If it is matching, then exit the loop. If it is not matching, again wait for 1 second. Again repeat the loop. So like this, I want to repeat this loop maximum of 30 times. That means 30 seconds. So like this, we should write some code. We can write some code now. So now let us see that one. How to do that. So example I'm giving here for this. Wait until insert done is displayed. Message text is displayed. Partial text. It is a partial text, is it right? Partial text is displayed in flight description window. Okay. Now let us see that now how to now write this using wait and loop statements. How we can how we can make qtp to wait intelligently. So now comment this wait statement also. Okay. Oh, it is a comment. Okay. Print order number. Fine. Now here, what I have to do? Get the text from this object. From this object, get the text by using get arrow property. Dot get arrow property of text. Get the text into some variable. Into some variable. Yes, message or yes, status. For example, it is status. Status message. Okay. So declare that variable. Done. So this statement returns the value, text value from this object into this variable. And after that, you check that in that variable using instr function, starting from first character, yes, status message is the variable. In that variable, I want to verify insert done. Text is displayed, string is displayed, is greater than 0. The instr function returns more greater than 0 if the second string is displayed in the first string. If the second string is not displayed in the first string, the instr function returns 0 value. So I'm checking here the return value of instr function should be greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then I want to exit. Stop. Else what I want to do? Wait for 1 second. And again run same statements. So I have to put these statements inside a loop. So I will put these statements inside the loop statement. For I equal to 1 to 10, because I want to wait for 10 seconds maximum. So that's why I'm giving 10 iterations. So in each iteration, how much time it is waiting? 1 second it is waiting, correct? Waiting for 1 second. In each iteration, maximum it will wait for 1 second. So it will wait for maximum 10 seconds. So exit for loop if this condition is satisfied. So this loop statement will work as a intelligent wait. Are you clear? Now look at that. It should work perfectly. Undefined variable. Oh, sorry. I is not defined. The for loop variable I is not defined, right? Because we are using option explicit is written here. That's why every variable should be declared. Dim I. Declare I variable. Now run it again. See, you can look at that. That loop will be continued. See that. See that. Until insert done message is displayed, it will be continuing that loop. All of you clear? See, again now it takes just 12 seconds of time, like a synchronization point. Is it right? So like this also we can make synchronization using for loop and wait statement. The combination of for loop, some loop, either for loop or any other loop. Okay. So now this logic, this code also making QTP waiting. So it is working as a synchronization. All of you clear? So let me give this one example here. How it worked. Okay. So simply I have not given the full statement here. I'm using simply get arrow property value. So the get arrow property method gets the value from the application. Okay. So this is the simple program that we have taken. Okay. Now, all of you clear, guys? How we can use loop and wait statement to make QTP to wait for some condition. So that condition we defined inside the if statement here. And if this condition is satisfied, we're exiting the loop. If this condition is failed, then we are waiting and continuing the loop execution. That's how we are doing it here using for loop and wait statements. Okay, now let us see one more thing, one more condition I want to use in this synchronization point. The text box, order number text box is not empty. This condition also we can use, correct, to define application ready state. So how to define this condition in the synchronization point? The text box is not empty. The text box is not empty. Let us see that how to define this condition. Then let me comment all these statements. See, now I'm going to use this statement. This text box is not empty. That is what my condition I want to define. All of you clear? See, it is here I want to check negative condition. The text box value is not equal to empty. That is the condition I want to define in the synchronization point. So how we can define that? See, in this synchronization point here, what condition we are checking here? The text is equal to insert done. The text is equal to this expected string. That means here we define here equal condition. See, it is possible in the synchronization point statement, wait property statement, we can define not condition and also less than condition or greater than condition. These conditions also we can define. Okay, let us see that how to do that. See, here I am defining one variable s order number. S order number is equal to empty. I assigned empty value to order number variable. See here, this is the order number variable we are getting. So initially this variable is empty. All of you clear? Order number is empty. So I assigned empty value to this variable. Now I'll be using this variable in this condition. Say that. Text is not second guess. MIC not equal. Sorry, like this we have to define. MIC not just simply not. MIC not equal. Not equal. MIC not equal. MIC not equal. That means this text value, the text property is not equal to this variable. What this variable is assigned? This variable is assigned with empty value. So this text property is not equal to empty. That is the condition I am defining here by using some empty variable and by using some condition name as a MIC not equal. That is a condition name. So that is a condition I want to verify on this property and with this expected value. All of you clear? How we defined here, text is not equal to empty. This variable is assigned with empty value and we are using that variable here, and we are using here the condition name MIC not equal. See, there are some other conditions that we can use in this wait property statement. You can look at that here. See, MIC greater than, to define greater than condition. MIC less than, MIC greater than or equal. See, these are all the condition names which we can use inside the synchronization point. See, MIC not equal, MIC regular expression match. See, this also we can use, but we'll see this one later after discussing regular expressions. Then only you can understand that. Okay, MIC not equal. So these are all different conditions that we can define, we can use in the synchronization point. By default we are using equal condition. Apart from equal condition, if you want to use any non-equal, not equal or less than or greater than, then there are some predefined condition names. Those condition names we can use in the synchronization point. Now let us see this execution. Then this synchronization point concept will be over. Let us see that execution once. So it is running fine. So it is displaying the, is it displaying order number or not? Let us see that. Is 22? No, it is not displayed. Something wrong. What is the problem? Text MIC not equal. Okay, I will comment this statement as well. Directly I'm giving its order number. Let me check that. Why that condition is not running? No. Done. It is showing done. Oh, sorry, guys. I have defined on different wrong object. See here, this is inserted and message, right? But now we have to verify order number text box, not for this object. Sorry, it is defined on wrong object. We have to define on this object. Order number object I have to define. Is it right? So it's get this order number object. Order number text box. Okay, now copy this statement. Dot wait property. Okay, now let us say that it should run. Even if I remove this, it should run. See, actually I'm checking on this object. I should check this text box. That's what the mistake what we did here. I have done here. Now run. It should be successfully running. See, in all the cases order number is not displayed. Only 22 is empty value displayed here. Now it should display. Okay, now it is waiting on line number 35. Now it's displaying the order number perfectly. All of you clear, guys? The various different synchronization options. Okay, guys, let us take some 5 minutes break and then we will continue. I will join back by 7 in 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm very sorry, guys. I'm keep on talking within mute. Okay, so let me again start. Okay, see, let me give quick overview what we discussed in the synchronization concept. What is a synchronization point definition? What is a synchronization point? It is a one common question that you can see, you can face in interviews, in QTP interviews. What is a synchronization point? Synchronization point is a statement. What is that statement is all about? Weight property is called synchronization point statement. It is used to synchronize the QTP speed with application. That is the main point. How we can synchronize with the application speed? It instructs the QTP. What synchronization point will do? It instructs the QTP to wait until application is ready within some maximum time limit. Within the maximum time limit. Time limit. Okay. And how we are defining that application is ready or not? So again, in other terms, in detail, it instructs the QTP to wait for expected condition, to satisfy in the application within the maximum period of time. So this expected condition defines that application ready state. We are defining application ready state by using some expected condition. All of you clear? That is the definition of synchronization point. And what is the method? What is the statement of synchronization point is wait property is the method. And for this method, we should pass three inputs: property name, property expected value, and waiting time in seconds, in milliseconds. And other alternative synchronization options. The first synchronization option is exist. Exist means if you want to QTP to wait for some window or some web page or some object displayed to be displayed, I want wait for some object to be displayed, then we can use this exist method, waiting for an existence, object existence. And another one, sync method. We can use sync method with web browsers, only with web browsers, web browser or web page. All of you clear? That means if you want to wait until the web browser navigation, web page navigation is completed, I want to wait to complete that web page navigation. So then we can use the sync method only in web applications, not with Windows applications. The sync method will work. And third one, wait number of seconds we have to pass, number of seconds. So the wait statement will make a QTP to wait for some time blindly. So it is not a preferred option. Why it is not preferred option? It will increase the execution time. If you use more wait statements in the script, it will increase the QTP script execution time by unnecessarily making QTP wait unnecessarily more time. And the fourth option we discussed about wait with loop statement. So this option will be good option when it is good option. If you want to verify, if you want to check some condition with some validations like partial text validations or some custom checks or custom verifications. Okay, so if you want to wait for some condition which involves some partial text verifications or some custom checks, so in that case we can't use wait property, then we have to go with this option. So this option also will be working as a good synchronization option, but we need to write multiple lines of code for this option. Okay, and one more thing is there here, one more thing, object synchronization option, that is called global timeout option. Global timeout option also can be used as a synchronization. See how it will be used. What is the fifth option? Global timeout, or in other terms it is called object synchronization. Object synchronization. What is this global timeout? We already seen this one, I guess. Global timeout. Where we can see that global timeout? When this global timeout will be used? When this global timeout will be used? See, the global timeout is, what is the default global timeout? The global timeout 20 seconds. The default global timeout. The default global timeout is 20 seconds. 20 seconds. When it will be used? If there is any object issue at any step, at any step in the script, at any step in the script, in any step in the script, if there is any object issue, object identification issue, then QTP will wait for 20 seconds. All of it clear? If there is any object issue at any step execution, at any step execution, all of it clear? At any step execution, QTP will wait for 20 seconds. So this is called global timeout. That means this timeout is applied by default to all the steps in the script. That's why it is called global timeout. When it is applied in any step execution, if there is any object identification issue or object related issues in any step execution, then QTP will wait for 20 seconds on that step. All of it clear? This is called global timeout. See, for example, you get some object issue in one step due to some application slowness. Application is very slowly loading, or application is responding very slowly. So because of that, we get some object issue in the script execution. So at the time, what QTP will do? QTP will wait for by default 20 seconds. It won't throw error immediately. It will wait for 20 seconds. If still that error object issue exists after 20 seconds also, only then it will throw error. Clear? See, this concept we discussed at the time of discussing about object identification process. First, QTP will try to identify the object by using object description. If this object description fails to identify that object, then QTP will be waiting for 20 seconds. Is it right? After 20 seconds, QTP will be invoking smart identification mechanism. At the time we discussed about this global timeout. All of you clear? Okay. Now, for example, there is some object issue at one step, and that issue can be solved after 10 seconds or after 5 seconds. Maybe in 5 seconds that object will be loaded completely, so that that object can be identified successfully and QTP can run that step without any issues after 5 seconds. But immediately, so when QTP is trying to run that step, it will face some issue. That object is not properly identified, or because of some issue in that object loading. All of you clear? So that object loading might be completed in 5 seconds or 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds, that object can be identified successfully and QTP can continue the execution, because QTP global timeout is 20 seconds. That means QTP can wait up to 20 seconds. Within 20 seconds, if that object can be identified, then QTP can continue the execution. Suppose if that object loading is taking more than 20 seconds, that means within 20 seconds time is not enough. Suppose application is very slow, that object is not loading in 20 seconds, it is taking more than 20 seconds. That means if QTP by default will be waiting for 20 seconds, but at some step, some object is taking more time to load or to display completely. Once that object is displayed completely in the application, only then that object can be identified by QTP. But it is taking more than 20 seconds. But by default, QTP can wait only for 20 seconds. But in one particular step, that object is taking more than 20 seconds. So at that point, what we have to do? What we can do to make a QTP to wait more than 20 seconds? There are two options. You can insert any one of these synchronization point options. Either wait property we can use, or exist we can use. All of it clear? Exist can be used to make it to wait for 30 seconds, more than 20 seconds. But even if you don't use any explicit synchronization statement, by default QTP can wait up to 20 seconds. Is it right? So without using any explicit synchronization statement, is it possible to make a QTP to wait more than 20 seconds. Are you getting my point? See, this global timeout, for example, I will show you with the execution, then you can understand better. Okay, see that I'm opening here, I'm taking new order button. Okay, in this new order button, let me take that repository file. Where is the new order button? Here, this is the button. What is the Windows ID? 6. Now I will change this property, Windows ID property, some 600, not 6, it is 600. I changed it. Now will it identify new order button? It cannot identify a new order button, correct? Is it right? Now what QTP will do now if I run the script? Let us see that execution. See that it is waiting on line number 15. That is nothing but clicking new order button. It is waiting for 20 seconds default time, default global timeout, because there is an issue in object identification in line number 15. So QTP is waiting for 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, it throws an error. All of you clear? Okay, now my point is, assume that object, now here you are getting the problem. Why we are getting the issue? Because I modified the property of that object. That's why we got the issue. Is it right? We got the issue because I changed that object description from 6 to 600. That is the reason that insert order button, new order button is not identified. Is it right? Now make it 6. Just assume that new order button is not identified because of some other issue in the loading issue. Properties are correctly defined in the description. There is no issue in the object description. Object description is perfectly defined in the repository file. But still that object is not identified because of some loading issue. That means it is not loaded properly. Still it is not loaded completely. Generally these kind of issues you could observe in the web browsers, in the web applications, not in the Windows applications. Understand? Even pages were displayed, some of the fields inside the web page may not be completely loaded. It may take more time to load all the fields in the web page. That means some fields might be loaded, but some other fields may not be loaded. This kind of situation you could observe in the web applications execution. Understand? So in that case, suppose if this field is not identified because of that loading issue, that field is not completely loaded, it takes more time. It is taking more time to load that field. All of you clear? So in that situation, if that field, to load that field, if the application is taking more than 20 seconds, if that field is loaded within 20 seconds, then this default global timeout is enough. QTP can wait up to 20 seconds, and within 20 seconds that field is loaded completely, and so that field can be identified and it can continue the execution without any error. Just suppose that, let us assume that field is taking more than 20 seconds of time to load or to completely display. So in this scenario, is it possible without using synchronization point statement to continue the script execution? Yes, it is possible. What is the possibility? We can increase that global timeout. See, by default global timeout is 20 seconds. I can increase that value to 30 seconds if I want. Where you can increase that? Go to file settings, run. This is the global timeout value. Object synchronization timeout value. Look at that. Object synchronization timeout value. So I can increase this value to 30. No problem. We can increase it. So now QTP can wait up to 30 seconds if there is any object issue in any step in the QTP script. All of you clear? So now that problem could be solved. But what is the disadvantage of this approach? By increasing the global timeout, what is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is same 30 seconds will be applied for all the statements, for all the steps in the script. All of you clear? So that is not a good. So you should not keep increasing this global timeout. We can do that, we can increase it, but it is not a good option, because this waiting time will be applicable is applied to all the steps in the script. That means if there is an issue in two statements, unnecessarily it will be waiting 30 seconds in both the statements. Okay, it will increase the global time. Again, execution time. Script execution time can be increased if you increase the global timeout value. So what we should do? We should not increase the global timeout. Instead of that, we should have to use some synchronization point here. Any one of these options should be used. Instead of using global timeout, increase, I can say increase global timeout. Instead of increasing the global timeout, instead of increasing the global timeout, what we should have to do? We should use some of these 5 synchronization options. 5, why I could say, including wait property statement, including wait property. These are all the 4, and including this 5. So any one of these 5 options should be used here instead of increasing the global timeout. All of it clear? Any questions, any query here in this point? This time out can be increased to make QTP wait for more time, but it is not preferred option, because since this timeout is applied to all steps in the script. All of it clear? So instead of increasing global timeout, we should use exist method. That is a good option here. Exist synchronization option. Exit synchronization, exist or other synchronization options. All of you clear? Right, you are right. If you define a synchronization point, it won't use global timeout. You are right. Okay. Left you clear, guys? So now we discussed the 6 synchronization options we have discussed, including wait property. Wait property is the first preferred option, synchronization option, and other synchronization options: exist, sync, wait plus loop, and global timeout, increasing global timeout. Okay, fine. And one more thing can be used as synchronization point. We didn't discuss that. What is that? Is I should define that before this one. Checkpoint. Check this. Checkpoint. Checkpoints already we discussed, right? Check property or standard checkpoint or a bitmap checkpoint, any checkpoint. Checkpoint can be used as a synchronization point. Let us see that. How it can be used. See, checkpoint, what it will do? Checkpoint. What is the definition of checkpoint? It verifies and reports. What it verifies? It verifies actual value with expected value, correct? And reports the status. In the result file, correct? See, if that verification is passed, if the verification is failed, then QTP waits Alpha clear. Waits. Correct. Waits for some maximum time limit. Correct. For some maximum time. Maximum timeout. For some timeout. For the specified timeout. Timeout value. Is it right? If the verification is failed in the checkpoint execution, what QTP will do? In the checkpoint, we are defining a maximum timeout value. Correct? We are defining maximum timeout in the checkpoint also. So if the checkpoint verification is failed, what QTP is doing? It is waiting for some maximum timeout. So if within the timeout, that verification can be passed at any point of time, then it will pass that checkpoint. Suppose if that verification is not passed within the timeout, only then it reports failed status in the result file. All of you clear? Okay. So that means here checkpoint is making QTP to wait. If the verification is failed, QTP is waiting. So that is what synchronization is doing, right? That means checkpoint also will make a QTP to wait if the verification is failed. So checkpoint can be used as a synchronization point because we are defining here waiting time in the checkpoint also. So that's why we can use, or the checkpoint can be used as a synchronization point. See that example in this example in our script. See here we defined a synchronization point, correct? I will comment it. Now what I'm doing here, after clicking insert order button, I am scripting one verification. I want to add one validation. What is that validation is? Verify insert done. Insert done. 3 dots. Message is displayed. In the application. I want to verify that it is not a synchronization point. I want to do some validation. What is that validation is? Insert done. Where is that object? Yeah, this object. Insert done object. Copy this object. How we can automate this validation? By using check property method. Say check property method I'm using, and write the property name is text, and what is the expected value? Insert done is the expected value. 3 dots, and define waiting time 10,000 milliseconds. Clear? See, it is not a synchronization point. What is this? It is a checkpoint. I am doing some verification here. If this verification fails, QTP will be waiting for 10,000. See, just look at that here. In this statement, wait property statement. Here I have written wrongly before. I modified this. Yeah. See, this is the wait statement. It is a wait property statement. What wait property statement is doing? It is also verifying same condition. And if this condition is failed, it is waiting for 10,000 milliseconds. The same thing the check property also doing. It is also verifying the same condition. If this condition fails, it is waiting for 10,000 milliseconds. That means the check property and wait property both are same. The wait property, what it is doing? It is verifying this condition. If this property is matching with this value, then it will pass. It will go to next statement, correct? If this text value is not matching to this expected value, then it will be waiting for 10,000 milliseconds. The same thing the check property also will be doing here. It verifies this text property with this value. If it is matching, it will be passed. If this is not matching, it will wait for 10,000 milliseconds. All of it clear? Then what is the difference between check property and wait property? That means what is the difference between check property and wait property statements? Okay, we'll discuss that point later. So here I'm using here some validation. Instead of using synchronization, I'm using here some validation. As per my test case, after clicking insert order button, I have to verify that this message should be displayed. If it is not displayed, it is a defect. So I have to report failed status in the result file. If it is displayed, then it is passed. The test case should be passed. My test case is here to verify this message, not to get the order number. My test case is to verify whether this message is displayed or not. Inserted and message is displayed or not after inserting the order. If it is displayed, the test case will be passed. If this message is not displayed, the test case will be failed. So if it is not, if it is a test case, then definitely I should have to add this validation by using check property statement. If I add check property statement to get this order number value, is it required again the synchronization point? Is this synchronization point statement is required now? It is not required now because the check property statement itself will be working as a synchronization point. So we no need to add any more synchronization point after this check property statement, because you are using here check property statement which is working as a synchronization point. So you no need to add any more synchronization in the script. Without adding any more synchronization, it will capture that order number successfully. That means this check property itself, here itself, it is working as a synchronization point. All of you clear? Now let me run the script. Now see that it should display order number without any issues. See, it is displayed order number. And what is the status now? Script status? Pass. See, just observe the difference between checkpoint and wait property statement. I used here checkpoint. Okay. So when I use checkpoint here, QTP is waiting. After clicking insert order button, QTP is waiting on this statement. If you observe that, QTP will be waiting on this line number 33. And it is making the script status as passed. And it is displaying the order number as well. All of you clear? These three things are happening. Just check that execution. QTP will be waiting on line number 33. See, it is waiting. And it captures the order number. And it is passed the script status. Script status is passed here. See there, look at that here. Status is passed. If I don't use check property and if I use wait property, then see this difference. What's happening? Now I'm using here wait property statement instead of check property statement. See, the same condition I defined, text inserted done, 10,000 milliseconds. Only method I modified, check property to wait property. Now run the script. Now see the difference, how it is working now. See, now it is waiting on line number 39. And it is getting the order number. Okay, login, inside login there is a checkpoint. Okay, inside login we already have reported past status. That's why it is showing past status. See here, the check synchronization point. Where is the synchronization point we are using here? Here we are using synchronization point, right? Where is that one? Yeah, this one, wait property. What is the status of wait property? Done. All of you clear? The wait property status is done if this condition is passed. If this condition is not passed in the wait property statement, what is the status of that step? Warning. All of you clear? And look at that here, checkpoint. Go to the checkpoint here. Is there any checkpoint here? There is no checkpoint. Okay, then let us see that. I will use here once again. I will run the script one more time with a checkpoint to see the status of checkpoint statement. We have seen the wait property statement result status. It is done or warning. All of you clear? It is not showing failed or passed. If I use check property statement, now see the status of this statement. So it is also waiting on line number 31. Now see the result file and go to the checkpoint. This is the checkpoint. Look at that here. What is the checkpoint status? Passed. But synchronization point status, even though it is passed, what is the status? Only done, but not passed, or but not be or failed, not pass or failed. The synchronization point statement always either done or warning, but checkpoint status always pass or failed. That is the main difference between check property and wait property statements. All of you clear? So the checkpoint can be used. Checkpoint also making QTP to wait if the verification fails. All of you clear? So that's how we can use checkpoint as a synchronization. If you are already using checkpoint in the script, it is not required to use synchronization point after the checkpoint. All of you clear? Synchronization point is not required after the checkpoint. After the checkpoint. And what is the main difference between checkpoint and synchronization point? The status. The synchronization point, that means what is the difference between wait property, which is called synchronization point, wait property, and check property, which is called checkpoint. What is the difference between wait property, that is called synchronization point, and checkpoint? What are the differences? What differences we can say? So the first one, the statement is different, okay? The method is different. What is the method? What is the method for checkpoint? Check property is the method. And here it is wait property. Wait property. And next one, what it verifies? It verifies property, correct? It verifies property. Here also it verifies property. Both are verifying property. And what is the waiting time? Waiting time. Unit, time unit. It is using here. In both it is using milliseconds. Is it right? Millisecond. Here also it is millisecond. No difference. Then what is the status? What is status of the checkpoint? No, not the status. I will go to last. What is the return value? Return value. What value the checkpoint returns? True or false? True or false? Synchronization point also returns true or false. And what is the status of checkpoint? Either pass or fail. And what is the synchronization point status? Either done or warning. These are the main points between checkpoint and synchronization point. All of you clear? Yes, any queries in this concept? Synchronization concept. Really very important concept. In almost every script, we will be using this concept in real-time scripts, in the real-time automation scripts. You have any queries, any questions? Yes, so it will impact the script status as well. See, one more point I can say, the script status. The overall script status will be impacted based on the checkpoint status. If the checkpoint is failed, it will impact, yes, impacts the script status. impact on the script status? Yes, it impacts, but there is no impact on the script status based on the synchronization point pass or failed. No impact here. That means if the checkpoint is failed, then automatically the script status should be failed, because one verification is failed inside that script. So the script status should be always failed. But even though here the synchronization point fails, the script status may not be failed. It can be pass status. It can be in pass status. All of it clear? This point, the last point. If the checkpoint is failed, I can give here. If checkpoint is failed, if any checkpoint is failed, the script should be failed. The script status should be, the script is failed. But here, if synchronization failed, if synchronization point fail, then script can be passed. It is possible. Even though synchronization point is failed, the script can be, not if, I can say even though synchronization point fail, the script can be passed. It is possible. All of you clear? Okay, these are the important points about checkpoint and synchronization point. Really, this synchronization point is very, very important in real-time scripting as well as interview point of view as well. You can get right many questions in this synchronization point area. So what are the different alternative options, and particularly how we can use using wait and loop? They may give some different example. See, for example, like this: I want to QTP to wait until this particular message, small message, displayed inside the application. How you can do that? How you can make? What is the synchronization point you can use? So then you should write this for loop, and how you will be using for loop with wait statement and getting that message value, and then verifying that whether that message contains this expected value inside that. If it is contained, if it contains, then exit the loop. Otherwise, wait and again continue the loop. So that logic you should be able to explain. And what are the other synchronization options that we can use in QTP? So there are 6 different types of other alternative synchronization options apart from the wait property. Okay. So any questions, any more questions, guys? Any more doubts? If synchronization fails, then it will take global timeout. No, Shiva. See, when global timeout come to the picture, when global timeout is coming to the picture, for example, in this synchronization point itself, see here, this is the synchronization point, correct? Or let us take this. This is the synchronization point. It is our wait property statement. Okay. Suppose in this statement execution itself, if there is any object identification issue, see, that's what there are different things. What do you say? See, for example, let me see that example. Really good question you ask now. See that it is a synchronization point statement, wait property statement. In this statement, we define 10,000 milliseconds. So what is the maximum time QTP can wait on this statement? 10 seconds or 30 seconds? What is the maximum time QTP can wait on this statement? It can be 30 seconds. How? It may take first object synchronization timeout, global timeout, 20 seconds. And after that, it can wait 10 seconds. Let us see that practically. See what I will do. For this object, I will define smart identification. For this object, I will define smart identification. That means first I have to set configuration for win object. For win object, let me define smart identification. For win object, where is that? Win object, win object. So here smart identification is not defined here. I will define that. And here I am defining Windows ID property in the base filter. And Windows ID, done. And optional filter, I will define some properties, absolute X, absolute Y, done. That's it. Okay. Now I will recapture that win object. What win object? I will recapture status object, inserted done status object. It is not inserted done. I will say status object, status object. Okay. Now I will recapture this object in the application. I'm recapturing that inserted done object. Done. Recaptured it here. Okay. Now smart identification is enabled. Okay. All of you clear? Now what I will do, I will define some different property here, not class property. I will define Windows ID also. I'm not defining. I'm defining some other property. Okay, I'm defining height property, and I remove this. Not height, or let me modify this value then. Instead of that, I'm removing 0 here simply. 40 is there, I removed 0. Okay. Now what will happen? This description cannot identify this object, so that QTP will go to smart identification. Is it right? Now let me run the script. Now see that how much time QTP will wait on this statement. See that QTP is still waiting. It is not waiting just 10 seconds now. It is waiting more than 10 seconds. Definitely. All of you clear? Still now script should be passed. See, it is running good. It is passed. See, order number should be displayed here, 30. Order number, the latest number, order number 30 displayed here. But how much time now QTP waiting? It is waiting more than 10 seconds now. All of you clear? That means in some situations on wait property statement, QTP can wait more than 10 seconds. When it wait more than 10 seconds, if there is any object identification issue in the wait property statement, then what QTP will do first? It will wait for global timeout 20 seconds. After global timeout, it may use smart identification. Then that object can be identified. After that, it will apply this 10 seconds for this verification. See, this timeout is defined for this verification, only for this verification. Okay, my audio is reconnected. All of you are able to hear me now. This timeout is defined only for this verification. If this verification is failed, QTP will be waiting for 10 seconds. But if there is any issue in this object identification, then QTP will apply object synchronization timeout, that is called global timeout, 20 seconds. So at the maximum, QTP can wait 20 plus 10, 30 seconds. All of you clear? Yeah. So sometimes in interviews, right, if you keep more good experience, more than some 3 to 5 years of experience in QTP, then you may get this kind of questions. How much time, maximum time QTP can wait on wait property statement? It can wait up to maximum the wait property timeout plus global timeout. That could be the maximum timeout the QTP can wait on wait property statement. not only the 10 seconds, whatever you define in the wait property statement. All of you clear with this? Any other queries? Yeah, really, it is very good question, Shiva. So, any other questions, guys? Chari and Subbarao, you have any doubts in the synchronization concept? Really, very good, very important concept. Okay. Okay, guys, that's it for today's session. We covered today one important topic, and next week we'll discuss. We'll start with parameterization. Parameterization concept. That is another important concept in QTP. Parameterization. How to parameterize the script, and now what different types of parameters. We'll see that one by one. From next session, we'll start with parameterization. See, these are the core important concepts, whatever we are discussing. These concepts you should understand to work with QTP scripts in real-time projects.